Alright, okay, I don't know if this has gone live now, I think so. I'm live streaming. Wow. Have not live streamed in a little while, or at all, to be honest. But yeah. Oh boys, we are actually doing a live stream, and yeah, again, it's not something I normally do, but if I can get enough people on, we'll obviously talk about Doctor Who and stuff like that. And yeah, that's kind of it really. I don't normally do these normally, but yeah, I just thought it would just be a good idea, kind of mix it up, and yeah, if this does well, then maybe yeah, I'll do another one. But yeah, live stream, and obviously there's been a lot of Doctor Who news over the past week. Also, I'm trying to open a Pepsi bottle without this actually breaking. Not breaking. Hey man, welcome to the stream. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's like ASMR, and if I'll right to the mic. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Alright. Okay. So yeah. No Den's second live stream? I think this is the second or third live stream I've ever done, so, well, on this channel anyway, so. Interesting stuff right there. So. Booyakasha. Right. So, 2 viewers right now. Nice. Very nice. Right. Okay, let me close that down. Might even throw it in and maybe do some memes or something. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna work, but yeah, we'll do something like that. Let's see how things go. Yeah. Alright. Hey, welcome to the stream. So yeah, if want to share the stream and stuff like that, that would be helpful, etc. To help out a little bit. And I hope the quality is good as well. Again, I'm not too good when it comes to streaming, etc. So yeah. Oh, let me just get the URL to share. Is Doctor Who ending after Series 14? Now, I wouldn't say so, personally. Again, I don't think that is something that will happen anytime soon. But I do think that it is possible that there could be a reboot of sorts. Just because, obviously... Hang on, let me plug my laptop in, that'll be a good start. So yeah, I think that there is going to be not a full-blown reboot, but similar to when Christopher Eccleston's series came back in 2005, it was kind of you didn't have to watch the classic series to understand what the show was about. So I think that's what they might do, kind of give it a fresh plate, but they'll obviously acknowledge the show's history. So it'll be a soft reboot, technically. So, yeah, not too bad, really. I mean, depends on that. Oh, thanks, man. Muchly appreciated. Muchly appreciated. Muchly appreciated. I'll just sharing it on the socials. Oh. Move some stuff around. Alright, hello. Do you think there'll be hints towards... do you think there'll be any hints during Series 13 that will build up to Jodie's regeneration? Yeah, I do think they are going to have to, at one point, acknowledge it. Maybe do a foreshadowing sort of thing. They might do it maybe for not in the similar style to Tennant, but there might be like I see. Then again, I don't know, because with the way Chris Chibnall's been doing things, like similar with the Timeless Child, it was mentioned in Series 11 in one line of dialogue, and then suddenly became like a big thing in Series 12. So I honestly don't know, and I feel like this regeneration is going to be different, because Chris Chibnall, yeah, I know there's been a lot of like mixed reception with this era, but he has tried to do things a little bit differently, and I feel like the regeneration is going to be different. So I don't think we'll be given like a lot of information about it. You know, there's not going to be a lot of teasers or anything. I think, I personally hope / think we won't get like a big grand speech as well, like, you know, where the Doctors are like making this grand gesture and whatever. I mean, that only really happened with Stephen Moffat's Doctors. But I feel like this might be a little bit of a different regeneration altogether. And I feel like maybe the Doctor might make a grand sacrifice or something like that. But it'll be very interesting to see how Chibnall approaches regeneration. Who's your favourite Doctor of all time? Well, I'm going to have to be one of them people. I'm going to have to say David Tennant, the 10th Doctor. Even though Chris was my first, the 10th Doctor will always be my favourite personally, just because that's kind of the Doctor I can relate to, sort of, and I'd say his Doctor's probably like the most human out of all of them, while also being dark and mysterious at the same time, and David Tennant did a really good job at kind of balancing that out, and I feel like it works really well in terms of, like, you know, balancing the tone between comedy and like the dark tones of Doctor Who as well. And it would have to be David Tennant. Paul McGann won't come back, and I don't think he was only for and I didn't think he was only for a film, and that's it. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Paul McGann come back. Personally, I think he is well overdue a return. He was heavily underutilized during the wilderness years, is what it's called. I would like to see him come back, obviously, but in terms of the leaks as well, that's kind of following on to the next question. Do you think that the last leak vid you did was legit? Well, I mean, with the leak vids, I've always got to keep like a sort of open mind. Yeah, sort of an open mind with them. But yeah, honestly, I go in, when I make a leak video, I kind of just look at them and I think, yeah, it's probably a load of bullshit. But yeah, personally, I think that, yeah, it's probably not, but, you know, there are some great fan fiction on there. Like, that's the way I look at them, like, a lot of the time, but obviously they're written as leaks, so I do try to go into reading them as leaks. But yeah, it probably isn't legit, even though there were some leaks on Reddit for Series 12, as I always say, and yeah, that never turned out to be, that did turn out to be true with the Timeless Child and stuff like that, so I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Hello everyone that's just joined now. Suddenly had a lot of people join. Are we actually going to see the new Doctor at the end of Jodie's reign in autumn 2022? I mean, yeah, we could do. There are leaks saying that we might not. That would be very interesting if that's not the case, and they have like an open-ended regeneration. But I do imagine they are going to announce the new Doctor before the... I'll probably say after Series 13, but before the special. So it might be like probably towards Christmas. I'd imagine so. And yeah, I think that would probably be the case for this. I think it'll be after Series 13, so after the 6 episodes, and literally just before Christmas or something like that. And I think, yeah, or maybe even Doctor Who Day, 23rd of November. I feel like that would be a good time to announce a new generation of Doctor Who. Alright, so I've got a few more questions here. Hey Nerd, who is your favourite Doctor from the classic era? I'd probably have to go with Tom Baker. A very close tie between him and Jon Pertwee, because Jon Pertwee's era I found very fascinating because he was on exile on Earth for a very long time, and I did like a lot of his stories. I love the Three Doctors, the first ever multi-Doctor story. I thought that was pretty cool, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Peter needs to return. Is this Capaldi or Davidson? So there's some pretty cool Peters. Thomas Haynes asks, do you think Peter Davison will return? I mean, for any classic Doctor, I would kind of... I would love to see any of them return. Any surviving actors at the moment that are, obviously able to act still and, able to actually be on set, I would love to see them return. Like, even if it's just for a cameo or something like that, or something like the curator from Day of the Doctor. I think that would be pretty cool. I would love to see them, just kind of come back and offer some words of wisdom, or just something like that. It would be really cool. But unfortunately, I don't think there's plans for them to come back in any capacity. I think the best way to see them return, hear them return, is from Big Finish. That's obviously the audios. Alright, so what do you think the next collection box set will be, and when it will be released? Now, I do think, first of all, it will be released probably towards the end of the year. And in terms of what it would be, well, you see, I was thinking that it would be... I always forget with the seasons. The season with Sylvester McCoy that had Remembrance of the Daleks in. But obviously, the last collection box set was a Sylvester McCoy one, so I don't know actually. Maybe even Colin Baker's debut season with collection box sets. I've only really just started collecting them, so it's kind of like I think they just pick them at random, to be honest, and like wherever they can film the extras for, that is honestly worth the money by itself. I feel like that is something that would kind of be a deciding factor, but. Honestly, it's up to anything. I guess it could literally be anything, or maybe even I don't know. Did they do John Pertwee's last season or something like that? That could be the case. No one actually knows. But anyway, hang on, I'm losing track of all the questions here. So, slightly off topic, but I really don't want Jo Martin as the next Doctor, as I thought her performance was pretty wooden and flat and stereotypical. Her only good moment was when she threatened the Jadoon. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing her as the Doctor, as even though she only had a small screen time, I did actually kind of enjoy her performance, and it did impress me more than Jodie's at that point. And I feel like, I would like to see at least more of her. Maybe not as the next Doctor, but if her Doctor's given a spin-off or is given a lot more screen time, I feel like it would be worth it. But yeah, I would like to see Jo Martin at least return in some capacity where she's given a lot more attention. Do you think Martha Jones was underrated? Yeah. I do. And I am slightly annoyed with Russell T Davidson writing Martha for her only season, where she was just constantly like the rebound girl, because there was a lot more to her character, and she started showing more of that towards the later half of Series 3, but obviously it was kind of a little bit too late. But then obviously when she returned in Series 4, you got to see more of her being independent, and yeah, she did deserve a lot more like independency, and yeah, I would say that she deserves like a return, or even a spin-off series. I know she's returning in audios, but I would like to see Martha just kind of like stand on her own or something. I feel like that would be pretty cool. Are you missing a male actor to play the Doctor? No. To be honest, like I don't mind. I've said continuously, if the person has like the right acting capabilities, then yeah, they can play a time traveling Time Lord. The thing I do miss though is I wouldn't say good scripts, but in terms of storytelling. Yeah, I guess maybe the consistency of good storytelling in Doctor Who. I feel like with Chibnall's era so far, for me, Series 11 was a massive disappointment. And then Series 12 was a big step up. Like, oh my god, I've never been so hyped for a series in my life. And then I'm kind of like, okay, what's happened with Series 13? Because it's suddenly shorter and everything like that. So, yeah, anything could happen in terms of who the next Doctor's going to be. But, yeah, personally for me, I'm not too bothered on who plays the new Doctor, but yeah, as long as they can play the role really well and offer their own interpretation. The thing is, I found with Jodie's as well, her incarnation is kind of, well, when she first started, she was like playing this very like goofball character, similar to Matt Smith's, and I would even say the same criticisms as I do to her for her Doctor in most parts to his. So yeah. It's kind of like, I do like some comedy, but when it's a little bit over the top, it can get a little bit cringy and annoying. Anyway, here we go. In episode 6, Jodie could start getting regeneration energy and holds it back until she fully regenerates in the third and final special, similar to Capaldi. Yes, that could actually happen. I could see that happening. I feel like, yeah, the specials are obviously going to be a trilogy. Like, you know, they're all going to be connected. Like, Series 13 is going to have one overarching story, but the specials are going to be like the David Tennant specials. There's going to be a build-up to this grand finale that is a Cemetery special. I do think that will probably be the case. Or at least there's going to be, like, I don't know, maybe like, not a flashback, what's it called? Foreshadowing of Jodie's regeneration that could happen. Not in a big way, but I don't know, really. It would sound like a good idea, but to hold back the regeneration energy for 3 episodes? Wow, that's mad. But I guess we'll just have to see what happens. How long do you think Doctor Who will go on for? Well, I mean, the television show could, you know, end next year for all we know. Don't get me wrong, I don't think that will happen, but Doctor Who in itself, I think, will go on for a lot longer than, you know, other TV shows would go on for if they were cancelled, because, as I said, there's audios, comics, video games. Doctor Who is a multimedia franchise, and I'm glad that the BBC have started realising that now, because Doctor Who, if it has enough money put into it, could end up being something similar to Marvel or any other franchise that's on Netflix or something like that, because, yeah, it is a big show, and it still is. Like, it still is a big show, and it would be very interesting to see how they approach, you know, putting more money into it. And, yeah, I do think Doctor Who will be around for a very long time. Even if the TV show has a gap, I do think it will always bounce back. But, yeah, Doctor Who will always be somewhere in the world in some present, shape or form. You know, there's theatre shows and stuff like that. Doctor Who is, like, you know, part of British culture now. So, yeah, I do think for a show that survived nearly 60 years, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. What is your thoughts on Series 9? I love it, and it is my favourite series, and Clara is my favourite companion. Yeah, I do think Series 9 was a really good series. I mean, Hellbent, yeah, was a little bit of a letdown, just because, yeah, it did just kind of focus a little bit too much on Clara, and I do think it was too early to bring back Gallifrey. And then, obviously, Gallifrey appeared. Clara kind of, you know, overtook the storyline. Like, you know, it kind of revolved around her a bit too much. And then we never saw Gallifrey again until Series 12, where it's destroyed. So, yeah, I feel like Gallifrey's return in Series 9 was completely pointless. But I did kind of enjoy the hybrid story arc. But then again, I like story arcs that have a definitive ending, not open to interpretation. So, yeah, that's kind of just something for me personally. I feel like, yeah, it was a good series, but the story arc and the finale was, yeah, it was kind of just not for me personally. What do you think will happen to the 13th Doctor that will make her regenerate? As I said earlier, I think there will probably be like a sacrifice maybe, and it will definitely be something to do with the Timeless Child. Maybe it goes full circle. Maybe it's her, you know, life that's somehow given to the Timeless Child in order for the Timeless Child to regenerate into the First Doctor or something. That could happen. Bringing the Doctor's life full circle, it could happen. Or there's a big standoff between Rassilon and the Doctor or something like that. Because I do think Rassilon's going to show up this series. I do think we're going to be in store for some old Time Lords coming back. Because obviously Gallifrey is going to be, even though the present day Gallifrey is destroyed, I do think there is potential to go back to early days of Gallifrey maybe, or something like that. Do you think Donna will come back? No. I don't think Donna will return unless it's Donna from an earlier like timeline or whatever. I don't think there'll be any point bringing her back, to be honest. As much as I love the character of Donna, I do think her time on the show has passed. Okay, I think the new team might want to start their Doctor's run without seeing regeneration, introducing the Doctor to audience at the same time as companion, like in Rose, to make it feel like a new beginning. Yeah, I do agree with you, Philip. I was just saying about that as well, actually. I do think that would kind of benefit the show as well. It wouldn't be too tied to previous continuity. per se. It'll kind of act like a soft reboot or like a new start, but obviously, you know, similar to Series 1, there would be opportunities for previous villains to return, but in a new way, and kind of add a new twist to them. And yeah, whoever does end up writing the new generation of Doctor Who, I do think we could be in store for seeing a new take. And I feel like it is now the perfect opportunity to put your own spin on Doctor Who, and it could work really well, and hopefully it does. You know, we've got potential of a new writing team, new Doctor, and probably new companions as well. It's just going to work really well. So fingers crossed that, you know, there is going to be like a fresh take on Doctor Who. And hey, who knows? We could be heading back to another golden era. Who knows? Who knows? Thoughts of Spyfall. I recently rewatched it and I liked it. Yeah, I did. I mean, I would argue that part 2 was a little bit rushed in certain aspects of it, especially with the stuff with Daniel Barton in terms of his plan. Never really understood it, but yeah, in terms of like the Master coming back, Sacha Dhawan playing Agent O, and then suddenly, oh my god, he's the Master. That just, oh my god, Sacha, his acting is just absolutely amazing. I would honestly, like, that was such a big opening for Series 12. And I remember going into Series 12 because I didn't enjoy Series 11 a lot. And I remember going into Series 12 and my expectations were low. And I did really enjoy it. Both parts were really good. And I've got to say that, yeah, I did enjoy watching these. So, yeah, Spyfall was a really good one. Alright, so if Chris Marshall becomes the 14th Doctor, then the Doctor will finally be Ginger like both the 10th and 11th wanted in Christmas Invasion and the End of Time. Yes! I mean, I don't even know what Chris Marshall's doing at the moment, to be honest. I mean, there is potential for him to be cast. You'd be kind of getting like a younger Doctor again. But yeah, I mean, he was on my wish list for a Doctor casting back for the English 12th and 13th Doctors. So if Chris does finally come to play the role, that would be pretty cool. What are your thoughts on Rose Tyler? Now, I used to love Rose Tyler when I was a young child. Like, I loved Rose because that was my first companion, and it broke my heart when she left in Doomsday. And I would still say so. She had like one of the most emotional exits. But going back to the companion, I do think that, yeah, I wasn't too keen on this whole romance thing with Ten. I think when the Doctor does have, like, you know, romantic interest, it does kind of make me cringe out a little bit. Same with River Song. I feel like the Doctor is, like, I always see the Doctor as this, like, quirky alien that, yeah, I don't know. It's just something that I just don't really, that aspect, the romantic aspect of the Doctor, I don't know. I just don't really enjoy it too much, but yeah. I did kind of enjoy Rose more in Series 4, though. She was a bit more, like, badass, really. She obviously spent time on the Parallel Universe working for Torchwood, and, you know, she was able to become a bit more independent, and, yeah, I definitely prefer the Series 4 Rose over the Series 1 and 2. So, yeah, we move on. So, okay, here we go. So there's a lot of people praising Jodie. You know, she's doing really well. I would say as well, the writing is kind of an issue with Jodie, and I would have liked to see her under another showrunner. I can agree with that. I hope to see Domhnall Gleeson become the 14th Doctor. I don't know who that is, but if they're a good person to play the role, then yeah, that would be pretty cool. Considering the fact that there have been leaks of the Century Special being a multi-Doctor story, do you think that the Century Special would be as good as Day of the Doctor? If there is any, multi-Doctor story in that, or if they do it for the 60th anniversary, regardless, I don't think it will be as big as, say, Day of the Doctor, because that was obviously the 50th anniversary. That was a milestone that, yeah, surviving another 10 years is good. Or even the BBC's 100th anniversary. I don't think it will be as big as Day of the Doctor. It'll still be a blockbuster special, But in terms of actually being good as it as well, I think that's just down to like viewer interpretation. But in terms of scale, I think it will be a blockbuster special. But yeah, I don't think it will be as big in terms of budget as Day of the Doctor, but that's just my personal opinion anyway. But again, the BBC might put loads of money into it just because it is the 100th anniversary of their company in it. What is your least favourite episode of Doctor Who? Probably, is it Forest of Night from Series 8? The one written by Frank Cottrell Boyce. I really didn't enjoy that one. Like, I thought that was a really... No, I don't like to using the term rubbish, but I just couldn't connect to that story whatsoever, and I really wasn't invested in it. One last question, Nerd Den. Would you be happy if the Master played by Sacha Dhawan came back? Yes, that would make my dreams, honestly. I would love to see him come back. And yeah, I do think out of Chibnall's era, out of any positives, that is certainly one of the best. Seeing Sacha Dhawan being cast as the Master, and he's done a really good job, and I hope that even beyond Chibnall's era that he continues to play the Master. I think perfect casting. Would you like to see Dr. and Martha Moore in Blink episode? Like an expansion of that? Because they did kind of have that in the comics recently for the 13th Doctor comics, where they were living in like the 1960s and kind of living a regular life. I mean, it could happen. I think it'll probably be in other media now, though. Maybe audio. That would kind of work. Okay. Goodness, I feel like I have a lot of unpopular opinions when it comes to Series 12 because I found Sacha's Master over the top, especially in The Timeless Children, but he is a very good actor. I mean, I can kind of understand that, especially with the Timeless Children episode. He was very unhinged, but I feel like, his Master's meant to be a bit more like Joker-ish. Excuse me. He's a bit more like over the top. I think that's kind of related to the plot though, because he's being driven insane by his revenge on the Doctor because of finding out the Doctor is basically behind the Time Lords, and that over sense of jealousy of the Doctor that has been a part of their rivalry since the Master was first brought into the show. It's kind of just reached extreme lengths now, and the Master's completely unhinged. So I can kind of understand why you'd think the Master was over the top, especially in Sacha's incarnation. Who would you prefer to be the next Doctor? Well, Chris Marshall is always like a good one, or I don't know actually. To be fair, I've put out so many names of people that I would like to be the 14th Doctor. Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. Like a name to the top of my head, I could not honestly tell you. Because there's so many like good names out there that could play the next Doctor, but just as long as they play the role perfectly, or not perfectly, or at least good. That's something I would be happy about. Who's your least favourite companion? Probably Clara. Yeah, I could be one of them. I didn't really enjoy modern day Clara. I think it would probably have to be Victorian Clara, but she only got one episode, so Clara just not for me personally as a companion. Didn't really enjoy a story. Not the Doctor's time stream or the whole Danny Pink thing. Not really for me. No disrespect to Jenna Coleman, she's a good actress. I just didn't enjoy Clara. Do you think in the next Doctor, did you think that David Morrissey will be the next Doctor? Yes, I did actually, when... Because obviously it was confirmed then that David Tennant was leaving the show, I believe, and, there's a lot of eyes on who would actually play the next Doctor. I don't think Matt Smith was confirmed to be playing the role either. So, I thought there's just going to be like a little switcheroo where at the end of the episode we'd be like the viewers would be following on with David Morrissey and his companion. Like I did think that was going to be the case, but unfortunately not. As much as Matt Smith did a good job, I would have liked to see David Morrissey crop up and play the Doctor, but well, sadly not. I'd love to see Emma Watson as the Doctor. I think she's like too big for the role now, to be honest. Especially being like a Hollywood actress. But yeah, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not for some. Who's your favourite guest appearance? Oh, favourite guest appearance. Huh, that's a very good one. Probably the guy that plays Charles Dickens in Series 1. I thought he really nailed the part of playing Charles. I feel like that would be pretty cool. So yeah, I think personally that was a really good guest appearance. If you could pick any companion from all eras of Doctor Who to come back, who would you pick and why? Probably again, it would have to be Martha, because as I said earlier, Martha for me is like an underrated companion, and if anything, oh excuse me, she deserves the opportunity to shine a little bit more, and I think as well she would work really well with the 13th Doctor. So yeah, bringing her back would be fantastic. So yeah. What's your favourite sonic screwdriver? Probably the 9th/10th Doctor's screwdriver. For me, that's so iconic. Silver with blue on the end. Just a fantastic look. What's your favourite and least favourite regeneration in Doctor Who? My favourite would be the 10th Doctor's regeneration. Explosive, destroys the TARDIS. The whole sad farewell, saying goodbye to all his companions. Yeah. I think that was my favourite one. My least favourite would have to be the 6th Doctor's regeneration into Sylvester McCoy's, because behind the scenes, sorry, behind the scenes, we had Sylvester McCoy having to wear like a blonde wig to obviously hide the fact that Colin Baker wouldn't come back to play the regeneration because of he was axed from the show. That I can fully understand why he wouldn't want to come back. But yeah, the whole regeneration sequence is it was a little bit out of the blue. We didn't really get to say goodbye to the 6th Doctor, so I can understand there were reasons behind that. But yeah, in conclusion, I just thought it was a little bit that's why it's my least favourite regeneration. Colin Morgan, yeah, that the guy who played Merlin, yeah, that would be a good shout. I don't know what he's doing now though. I don't know, if he's free to do the role or not. But that would be a cool one actually. I remember he was one of the running favourites to play the 11th Doctor, because obviously Merlin was one of the big BBC shows as well back in the day. Would you do more live streams, and what are your thoughts on Rory and Amy's relationship? I do hope to do more live streams. I'm not going to commit to like a schedule or anything, but if I can do more live streams, I wouldn't mind doing them, because it's an opportunity to interact with you all live. That's something pretty cool. I don't normally do live streams. I prefer video format, but if I can keep up the conversation, then yeah, I might do, because I do generally love interacting with you all, and doing live streams is the best way of doing it. So yeah, maybe. And my thoughts on Rory and Amy's relationship is that I did enjoy them as like a couple. It weren't too cringy or whatever. It was like they were a power couple. And yeah, like in terms of story as well, I weren't too fond of that brief divorce thing that they had going on in Asylum of the Daleks. That was just a little bit out of nowhere. Even with the minisode, it was completely out of nowhere, and I don't even know why they bothered doing it. But yeah, apart from that, I did enjoy them as a couple, and yeah, their relationship was good. Would you like to see David Morrissey play a future Doctor, maybe the 14th, 15th, or 16th? Yes, I would love to see David Morrissey actually play the Doctor for real this time. As we do know, the Doctor can reuse old faces, whether that's been from people he's met, or people that they've, previously been, because obviously the creator. I do think the Doctor will hopefully one day end up being David Morrissey. That would just be fantastic. Okay, where we at? Alright, I heard Ollie Alexander is favourite to be next Doctor. What is your thoughts on Ollie Alexander being the next Doctor? Okay, so Ollie Alexander, I admit I have only seen him in one show, and that's It's a Sin. And yes, I did really enjoy that. It was definitely one of the emotional TV shows I've watched in a very long time, like a very long time. But yeah, I haven't watched him enough to kind of get a grasp of if he would be good enough to play the Doctor. I know he does a lot of music as well, and I feel like with such potential, because obviously his acting career, from what I've heard, really picked up after It's a Sin. Being locked under like a contract where you're filming for a good chunk of a year and then you can't do your music as well, I don't think it would be for him. But yeah, personally, I couldn't see him as the Doctor. But I say that a lot. Like, I couldn't see Matt Smith being the Doctor when he was cast, and then he played the role really well. And I'd love to be proven wrong when, I have my doubts. So yeah, I'm always open to anyone, but obviously we'll have to see if he's actually cast. But I think his management actually denied the rumors, but they could just literally be playing along with the role there. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. Would you like to see Russell Tovey return? Yeah, Russell Tovey. Yeah, he played Alonso. Yeah, that's it, from Voyage of the Damned. Yes, I would like to see him return. Maybe even the Doctor himself, to be fair, or a companion or something. That would be pretty cool. I have seen him in quite a few things as well, like Years and Years. And yeah, I think he's a really good actor. So yeah, Russell Tovey coming back to Doctor Who in some capacity would be pretty cool. He was definitely one of the highlights from David Tennant's era. The next Doctor, in my opinion, should be Saran Jones, who played the TARDIS. Oh yes, in, was it The Doctor's Wife? Was that it? Yeah, I'm trying to remember that Series 6 episode. Yeah, she was also in the Sarah Jane Adventures as well. She played the Mona Lisa that came to life. Saran Jones, yeah, she's a really good actress as well. It would be very interesting to see if she would actually play the Doctor as well, especially if it's true that Sally Wainwright is going to be the next showrunner for Doctor Who. I reckon Saran Jones would be one of her picks, because she's worked with Saran Jones a lot as well. So that could be potentially like something like Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall. I think, yeah, it could be something similar there if that is the case. But then again, it's not confirmed if Sally is going to be the next showrunner yet. If you're going to put each modern Doctor in a story from the modern Doctor from the classic story, I would like to see Peter Capaldi's Doctor in Genesis of the Daleks. I think that would be pretty cool, because he would kind of have like a similar vibe to Tom Baker. And as I said earlier, Genesis of the Daleks is one of my favourite modern Doctor Who stories, and I think it would be pretty cool to see what's like how he would react and what he'd do differently. But I think it'd be very similar to Tom Baker in that story. And what do you think of Michelle Ryan in Planet of the Dead? Oh, that episode. Yeah, I've only watched that a handful of times since it was first aired. I didn't really enjoy it a lot. Michelle Ryan, I think with Lady Christina, it would have been very interesting if she was a full-time companion, because her character was previously a criminal. She was literally on her way from a heist before she met the Doctor. So, yeah, it would have been very interesting to see a companion who was previously a criminal to basically be alongside the Doctor. But unfortunately, yeah, she was only there for one appearance. But yeah, still. Okay. My choices: Colin, Morgan, and Russell Tovey. Yeah, good choices for the 14th Doctor, or any future Doctor. Spoilers: the Master is the timeless child all along. He just convinced the Doctor that it's her, and she fell for it. What a liar! Yeah, to be fair, I mean, as I said, like I'm open to seeing how the timeless child story goes. But the Master being the timeless child, whilst it would annoy me with the retcon, it would be. Well, it would make a lot of sense, because the Timeless Child was at one point obviously immortal, probably still is, and the Master has survived death more times than now else. Yes, the Master was executed in the TV movie, but the Master still survived in some way, shape or form. And yeah, Doctor Who always changes its continuity, and quite literally the Master surviving death all this time could be because of the fact that he is the Timeless Child. And that would maybe make him angry still, because the Master was already screwed over heavily by the Time Lords, especially within the Time War. You know, that thing was implanted in his head when he was a child. The drum beat drove him insane. And this would literally be something else that would drive him insane as well. What is your favourite quote from Doctor Who? Mine was Alonzi Alonso. Mine is laugh hard, run fast, be kind. I don't know if I've got that in shot there. But yeah, that's from Peter Capaldi's Regeneration. I thought that was really good. Definitely words to live by. So yeah, definitely one that I really enjoyed. Would you like to see Davros return, and what are your thoughts on if the half will return? Davros, I would like to return, and I do think there is a possibility he could return in the next Dalek special. I feel like they are building up towards him, especially if the Dalek Civil War continues somehow. If there's some of Jack Robinson's Daleks that have survived the revolution of the Daleks, because the Daleks are confirmed for Series 13 or one of the specials, and I do think there is the potential of Davros coming back for kind of like, so basically, yeah, it would be Robson's Daleks versus his Daleks, and it would be basically like Remembrance of the Daleks from the classic series. So yeah, it could happen, and I would like to see him meet the 13th Doctor, and I would like to see her reaction to Davros. I think that would be pretty interesting. Which story of the classic era would you put the Ninth Doctor in? The Ninth Doctor. See, Genesis of the Daleks is another good one as well, because I feel like his Doctor would kind of thrive off that, especially with his hatred of the Daleks as well. Or maybe, I don't know, actually. I don't know. See, Genesis of the Daleks always comes to mind. I would like to see him in Five Doctors as well. That would be quite funny. Seeing him meet other incarnations of himself would always be hilarious. But yeah, like anything like that would be just funny. Any news about your questions and answers with Sadie Miller? I actually haven't heard of her, but obviously, well, I've been busy as well. But I'm hoping to get that sorted soon, so I can do like a Q&A with maybe some other people as well. I wouldn't mind interviewing like other companions and stuff. And I am hoping to get a podcast started, hopefully at the back end of this year, once I've got everything else. Oh, excuse me, Pepsi making me gassy. But yeah, I would like to get a podcast where I can like interview like YouTubers, Doctor Who YouTubers, and other companions and stuff, or any like cast and crew from Doctor Who classic or modern. I think would be pretty cool. What are your thoughts on the episode 42? Do you think it was like a game show rather than an episode? Yeah, I do remember the game show stuff. I did actually watch that episode the other day. I do think it was one of the most underrated stories, to be fair. I really enjoyed it. Especially the darker moments when the Doctor was possessed by the sun. I feel like that was a pretty good moment. And yeah, I do think it would be interesting to see if there's a rewatch of that episode at some point, because obviously these watch-alongs were big during the lockdowns, and if there were like, you know, ever like watch-alongs by people, if people did 42, if that was like a mainstream watch-along, it'd be very interesting to see how people would react to this episode now, because obviously that was a Chibnall episode as well, and I'd even argue that's probably one of his best stories, but that's just me. I'd put the Ninth Doctor in Revenge of the Cybermen because he never faced the Cybermen. Yes, that would be a good one. Or even Earthshock. Imagine him losing a companion. Like, actually, for real. Because he did think he lost Rose in the episode Dalek. So imagine him losing Adric. That would be mental. Yeah, that would be insane. Okay, here we go. What if John Barrowman and Arthur Darvill played future Doctors and the Doctor has Jack's face and Rory's face? I feel like with companions, it would just be a little bit weird. Them walking around with their faces. It would just be really weird. And obviously if these companions returned, it would just be a little bit weird. Um, yeah, it would just be a little bit of a weird one for me personally if they did that for any companion personally. Um, but yeah, I mean it's technically not impossible, but for me, yeah, it would just be a little bit of a weird one. Oh. What do you think of Carly's performance in Voyage of the Damned? Astrid. Yeah, Astrid Peth. That's the character name. You see, I didn't really enjoy her performance that much, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, the episode was good, but I didn't really enjoy her performance that much at all, to be honest. I just wish, like, yeah, she could have been around for the specials or something, in terms of Kylie, where she was like a big guest star, or like a temporary companion, instead of whatever happened to Astrid. But the whole character concept was pretty cool in terms of, that she wanted to travel with the Doctor but then died before she could ever do that. She sacrificed herself for the Doctor, which is pretty crazy in itself. Oh, God. If it's an other way around, if it was a companion to play the Doctor, which companion would you choose? Oh. Okay. Companion. Very good question. Maybe Ace. Yes, Sophie Aldred as the Doctor would be very interesting. I would actually watch that. Sophie Aldred as the Doctor would be absolutely fantastic. That would be pretty cool. Sophie Aldred as the Doctor would be, oh my god, I would be so happy. So happy. Yeah, we've been streaming for nearly 50 minutes now. Like, I don't normally do these live streams, but I've really enjoyed it. Like, I really have enjoyed these live streams. Such like a unique form of content for me. And yeah, maybe I'll do them again sometime. Like, I might do them like one tomorrow, maybe. I generally don't know. Like, I don't want to stick to a schedule, just because obviously they can be quite demanding live streams. But yeah, maybe I might do them a little bit more on a regular basis. But yeah, as I said earlier, it's probably like the best way to interact with you all is doing it live. What are your thoughts on the Family Blood? Do you think they will return? No, I think their story's pretty much finished now. I think they'll just serve as like remembrance of the fact that the Doctor can, give villains plenty of warning, but then once the Doctor's run out of patience, that's it. And yeah, the Family Blood, I think, yeah, I don't think there would be a point of bringing them back, but again, anything could happen. Anything could happen. Which companion from the classic series would you like to meet on Doctor? I would like to see again Ace, Sophie Aldred. She would be absolutely fantastic with the 13th Doctor. Just because obviously, Ace didn't really get a proper send off, so I think it would make a lot of sense for her to come back, maybe like round off her character, or maybe set her up for a spin-off, maybe similar to what they did with Sarah Jane back in School Reunion. And yeah, I think that would work really well. And plus, yeah, she didn't meet the 13th Doctor in that book as well. Was it A Childhood's End or something? I think that would be a pretty cool, way of bringing back Ace. That would be pretty cool. Like, I can't stress that enough. I would really like to see Ace come back. I think that would be fantastic. There might be a new generation of the Family of Blood. Yeah, maybe. But I think that's kind of like just restricted to the writer for that episode. I forgot his name now, but I can't see him actually doing like coming back to write for the show. So I don't think they would bring back the Family of Blood. I mean, I was always a fan of the Carrionites, and you know when the Doctor had them trapped in that in that ball, but I don't think that that's going to be picked up anytime soon. You know, that happened all the way back in Series 3, and the Carrionites were never released. And they was last seen in the 10th Doctor's TARDIS in that ball, and then the 10th Doctor regenerated and exploded. So, yeah, I can't see them coming back anytime soon either. Which New Who companion actress would you cast as the Doctor? To be fair, Jenna Coleman, as much as I didn't enjoy the character of Clara, I reckon she'd be a good Doctor. I've loved her in like other lead roles, so yeah, I think she could be a very interesting take on the Doctor. Do you think Matt Smith should do Big Finish? Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Even though Jacob Dudman does do a really good impression on Matt Smith, I would like to see Matt Smith himself return similar to Eccleston. I think it would be easier to get Matt back though, and they might have actually already done stuff with him. Because I think the Martha box set that's coming out this December was recorded ages ago. So they could have already done something with Matt during one of the lockdowns, maybe, where he wasn't filming for anything. You know, they were able to get into one side and like, yeah, let's record the thing remotely. And it could be the same with Peter Capaldi as well. But I think Matt Smith doing it would be huge. And yeah, we definitely need more 11th Doctor content. As much as I want too big a fan of his era, I think it would be really cool to hear him come back to the role, and maybe even Big Finish could do a multi-Doctor story with him and with him and the 9th Doctor. I think it will be crazy if that's the case. Do you think it'll be a female Doctor again? I mean, oh god. In terms of whoever the new Doctor is, I think there's a good possibility we could have another female Doctor. Again, it could equally be a male Doctor. I think. Yeah. Good question there. Like, I wouldn't like to say either or because, again, I could just get it completely wrong. But I do think there is a strong possibility we could see another female Doctor, another well-known actress take on the role. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. I just wanted to say thank you. I enjoyed your stream. Thank you very much. It's my first proper live stream on this channel anyway, so thank you very much for that. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in. It's been absolutely fantastic. What is your favourite type of Dalek and Cyberman? Daleks, my favourite design would be the 2005 Bronze Daleks. I know they're overused, but they're simplistic, and yeah, they're kind of like war-type Daleks I really enjoy. And for the Cybermen, it would have to be the... probably, actually, you know what? The Cyber Warriors. The new versions of Cybermen that were in Ascension of the Cybermen, not the Cyber Masters, the other ones. I thought they were pretty cool, and I've got to say they were pretty, they reminded me of the classic era Cybermen, but moved around like modern Cybermen. I thought that was pretty cool. Do you think Doctor Who will return to do a Christmas special again? Oh, no, hang on. I missed a question there. Have you heard Chris Walker Thompson's impersonation of Patrick Troughton? No, I haven't, but I might check that out after. Is this someone that's done a Big Finish audio or something? Do you think Doctor Who will return to do a Christmas special again? I hope so. I do miss the Christmas specials a lot, but then again, I don't mind the New Year's Day ones either. So I guess it is what it is. But I reckon if there is like a big reset after this last special, I think there is a good possibility that the BBC will schedule Doctor Who for Christmas specials again. 13's regeneration, 10th Doctor return, the Master causes 13 to regenerate, she still holds it back but 10 persuades her, like he did with the Master in the Last of the Time Lords. Now that is a good theory. I think as well, it would, I mean, maybe the 10th Doctor in this story could be the 10th Doctor that's on his farewell journey. That would be really, really amazing. and it could be like another twice upon time scenario there, but it could be the 10th Doctor kind of saying goodbye to everyone, and then he ends up going off course and he meets the 13th Doctor and they have an adventure, and then obviously the 13th Doctor is kind of like, maybe she loses Yaz and Dan and she's all defeated and stuff, and it's the 10th Doctor, the Doctor that's infamous for his vanity, that convinces her to regenerate. I think that would be that would kind of be poetic in a way. I think that would really work. Do you think Doctor Who Confidential will return? As much as it pains me to say, no, I don't think it will. I have hoped for a very long time that it would, because as like a media student and a big fan of films and TV, I love the behind the scenes stuff, learn how stuff's made and stuff, and I don't think the YouTube clips kind of cut it. But yeah, I don't think the BBC will ever do that, sadly. Out of Jacob Dudman's impressions of the 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th Doctors, which is your favourite? The 11th Doctor. It's the only one I've really listened to. I've heard a bit of his 9th Doctor, and I've heard his 12th Doctor. I haven't really heard of the 10th one, but the 11th one was pretty good, and very close to being Matt Smith. So, yeah, I'd have to go with that one. If I remember correctly, Chibnall told Moffat that he would want to look for actresses instead of actors. But now he's gone, it could be anyone. Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of that one, but yeah, you are right there that, yeah, with Chibnall gone, yeah, it could be anyone. But it's up to, I guess, the next showrunner, because again, we don't know who that could be. It's whoever they would want to hire. Like, if it is Sally Wainwright, it could be Saran Jones, for all we know. It would be huge, but you know, again, it is completely up to anyone. Yeah. So I guess once we find out the showrunner, we'll kind of have an idea, or they could just announce them both together. Maybe, I don't know. Have you listened to the 11th Doctor Chronicles? No, I haven't, not yet, but it is definitely on my listen list, because I have got a huge amount of Big Finish audios I want to get into, because I've been listening to them a lot recently, and I've loved pretty much every single one. So yeah. I think because of this performance to Loki, Tom Hiddleston would make a good master. Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. I could see that. I know a lot of people have put, like, fan castings for him to be the Doctor. But, yeah, Tom Hiddleston as the Master would be pretty cool. And he could maybe play, like, a sympathetic Master. I think that would kind of work pretty well, similar to Loki. But, yeah, Tom Hiddleston would be cool. I don't think it would ever be casted, though, because of, obviously, of how demand he is in. And, obviously, you know, he's a big actor. So, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that'll happen. In the Comic-Con Doctor Who panel, Chibnall described Series 13 in one word as swarm. What do you think he meant by that? Swarm. I know a lot of people have tried to say that might be a monster, but that might just be in terms of, like, I don't know. Swarm, is it because it's like a big story, something big heading the Doctor's way? That could be literally what that means. That's the way I interpreted it, so it could be the case. Do you think the Ood will return? And would you like to see them with red eyes or green eyes? The Ood, I would love to see the Ood return. I mean, I don't know if they will. I doubt it, probably, but red eyes for sure. Yeah, I mean, there'd have to be a reason, but it would have to be red eyes for me. They look pretty cool with that. What is your favourite and least favourite TARDIS interior? Okay, my favourite one would have to be the 11th Doctor's first TARDIS interior. I thought that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that one. And then my least favourite would have to be the current one. I really don't like the 13th Doctor's TARDIS interior. I think it's just like a massive spider. Not really for me. I think my perfect era would be Neil Gaiman as showrunner, Hugh Laurie as the Doctor, Emma Thompson as companion, Tom Felton as another companion, and Tom Ellis as the Master. That one's insane, and to be honest, I wouldn't say that's entirely unlikely. But I would, I would like to see that. I feel that would be pretty cool. But yeah, that's kind of like a too good to be true sort of thing. That would just be like a dream come true if that ever happened. But yeah, that is a pretty good cast in there. Really good. Wasn't Chibnall meant to have a 5-year plan? Well, technically he did, but it's the fact that we've only had 3 seasons. Yeah. So we've had series 11, 12, 13 and the specials. So like we've got 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22. So yeah, it technically has been or will have been 5 years when he leaves. But we just didn't know it was only for 3 seasons. It's kind of being a little bit of a scam there, but well, it is what it is. I just hope that with the Timeless Child story arc, he can wrap it up and give his like vision of Doctor Who, complete it, make it what he wants. The Doctor still misses Adric. Yeah, I think so as well. I'm kind of disappointed that Adric hasn't been referenced in Doctor Who yet. In the modern show, I want to see him referenced again. That'd be pretty cool because his death was kind of tragic. What was your favourite and least favourite James Bond movie? Now, I haven't watched all of them. My favourite would be Skyfall. Bloody hell, I'm getting mixed up with Doctor Who now. My least favourite would probably be Moonbreaker, was it? Something like that. The one there in space. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy that one. What were your thoughts on Doctor Who when you saw it for the first time? I started watching it in 2008. I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, I started watching that first episode in 2005. I remember watching that, and it was pretty cool. Because obviously my parents and various family members had watched the classic series, and when I was watching it, I was just so amazed that they could make shop window dummies seem horrifying. I remember being scared of shop window dummies for ages, and yeah, I think that's kind of just I've always praised Doctor Who for making simple ideas seem so threatening, and I think that works really well. But yeah, watching 2008, that would have been series 4 if I'm correct. Wow, that is a good time to jump onto the show. Which Disney movie would you put each Doctor into, leading to the title Doctor's Disney Adventures? I mean, for each Doctor, I don't really know for all of them, but a couple that come to mind. I mean, I'll put maybe 13th Doctor into the Wizard of Oz. That kind of happened in the book anyway. I'd like to see the 10th Doctor. Actually, no. I'll put the 12th Doctor in something like. That's actually pretty hard to do. I'm trying to think of all the Disney movies now. The 11th Doctor in Finding Nemo. Is that. Yo, I'm going to sound dumb now. Is Finding Nemo Disney? Is it? Yes, it is. Okay. Right. What is it? Pixar. Oh, yeah, so it is Disney. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Maybe the 11th Doctor in Finding Nemo. The 12th Doctor. I'm trying to think of Disney movies now. Let me have a look. Oh, in Up. Yeah, Up would be one. That would be one. But yeah, in terms of the others, I don't really know. I do like that 13th Doctor's beef with the Sidemen does come from Bill's death. Yeah, that was a pretty good connection to Capaldi's era. And I hope that if the Sidemen return again, before she regenerates. That's like fully explained as well. That'd be pretty cool. My first episode was Midnight. Yes, Midnight is a really, really good episode to start off with. My favourite James Bond actor would be Daniel Craig. Least favourite, probably to Timothy Dalton, maybe. Maybe, I guess. Adric was referenced in Time Crash. Oh, was he? Oh, I thought it was only Tegan and the Time Lords and the Master. I guess I've forgot about that. I'll have to go and rewatch that after. But yeah, I think his death being referenced would be something pretty cool. I guess something that would like maybe show that obviously traveling with the Doctor isn't always the best thing. Because wasn't Adric from... He was from... was it End Space or East... No, East Space, that's it. And, yeah, you know, Adric was taken away. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see if that would ever be explored again. Hi. Hello. Welcome to the stream. After David Tennant left, it was a bit emotional. I was in an emotional breakdown. Were you the same? And do you thought Matt Smith wouldn't do any better than David Tennant? Yeah. I was definitely the same. Because obviously, yeah, I started watching when Chris was the Doctor. I was more confused when he left, to be honest. It just felt a little bit out of the blue for me when I first watched it. But yeah, when David left, because obviously he did more seasons, it was a bit more traumatic, I guess, especially the way he regenerated. And yeah, I was skeptical about Matt. But yeah, I thought he did a really good job. And he had a huge shoes to fill as well, but he did a really good job. And yeah, he was definitely a worthy successor. Do you think Dimensions in Time will ever be released on DVD? Yeah, that's the that Children Need special, isn't it? Where they collaborate with the EastEnders cast. I mean, it would be really cool if they included that either on DVD or in one of the collection box sets, if they did one for the Wilderness or something, the Wilderness years. But yeah, Dimensions in Time is something that, it's just so good. I mean, I actually think it's an underrated gem, and that and the comic relief one with Ronan Atkinson, I think that would be pretty cool to see happen in the future. If you were a companion of the Doctor, which Doctor would you play? Oh, sorry. If you were a companion or the Doctor, which Doctor would you play, or which companion would you choose, and what would be your catchphrase? Oh God. I'd like to play the 10th Doctor, not just me being like a David Tennant fanboy, just because his costume, the hair, etc. And I'd keep the Allons-y catchphrase. Like, I think that's iconic. And companion, I would like to probably pick Martha again. Martha, but just like actually appreciate Martha would definitely be on the agenda. You know, let her choose where to go and stuff like that, and you know, just treat her like a good friend. If each modern Doctor was paired with a classic companion, who would you pair them with? I'd like to see the 9th Doctor with Tegan. I think that would be pretty cool. Tegan would be definitely keeping the 9th Doctor on his toes, and to be honest, vice versa, equally. The 10th Doctor, maybe with Ace. I think that would be amazing. Because Ace as well was like, again, such a good classic companion. And then the 11th Doctor, I would like to see. The 11th Doctor would probably be Joe Grant, played by the amazing Katie Manning. I think, yeah, they were in the Sarah Jane Adventures together, and I think seeing that relationship explored with the, you know, like a spin-off or something like that, or like a one-off episode would be pretty cool. And then the 12th Doctor, I'd like to see him with Sarah Jane Smith. That one would be amazing. Seeing Sarah Jane Smith meet the 12th Doctor, played by Capaldi, would be amazing. And then maybe the 13th Doctor and trying to think now, maybe Perry. I feel like that would be cool. Perry, yeah. Did you hear that Russell T Davies wanted to get J.K. Rowling to write a Christmas special, and the fantasy worlds was going to be canonically take place in her head? Tennant refused to do it, so it was scrapped. No, I mean, I did hear something about J.K. Rowling was approached, but I don't know why it was, cancelled or whatever. I mean, there was a couple of Tennant ones that were scrapped, I believe. There's meant to be another one from Mark Gatiss as well. But yeah, that'll be interesting to, like, if that was the case anyway. I think Stephen Fry was meant to write an episode. I think it might have been for Eccleston series though, but he never got around to doing his either. Should the Doctor stay female? Now, personally, I would like to see at least one other female Doctor, and I do. A big part of me does hope that we do see obviously a female actress take over the reins from Jodie. Maybe like someone like a little bit older, maybe. Get someone like in probably the same age as Capaldi, or maybe someone that can play like a little bit more of a darker role or something. I think that would be pretty cool. Like a darker tone for the Doctor's character would be. It would be pretty cool. I would like to see that. I would like to see that. Yeah, I'm probably going to wrap this up in like 5 minutes. But yeah, overall, just before I wrap this up, I missed your question. Hang on, what was your last one? I think I answered that one, about the companion stuff. I said, like, I'll probably be the 10th Doctor, and I'd have Martha as my companion, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I did answer that one, I think. Yeah. Who would you pair a classic Who Doctor with a modern companion? Tom Baker with Jenna Coleman. Just calling it, just putting it out there now. I feel that would be very interesting. Doctor swap. I would put Paul McGann in Heaven Sent and Peter Capaldi in Meglos. Ooh. Oh, I asked about the TARDIS. Did you? Oh, what was the question about the TARDIS? I don't think I got the question on my chat box. But yeah, just tell me the question again and I'll answer it. Yeah, sorry about that. I want the next Doctor to stay female. Yeah, I do think it would probably be a good decision. At least for the next one. Because I do think that obviously, yeah, anyone can play the Doctor as long as obviously they play the role right and stuff like that. Yeah, I am definitely on board with that, and I do think it would be good for the show. Do you think Sam Claflin should be the next Doctor? I don't actually know who that is. Yeah, I don't actually know who that is, so I can't really give my opinions, but I don't know, maybe. Classic Doctor and new story. Sylvester McCoy and Dalek. Yeah, that Christopher Eccleston story would be pretty cool. Imagine that. Oh, damn. And then Hi, I Have a Miss. I've literally just been like talking randomly, answering some Doctor Who questions. Really, that's kind of it now. I am literally just about to wrap up the stream though. I've been streaming for about an hour now, or just over an hour. I'll answer this question though. If you had to design your TARDIS, what would your TARDIS look like? I'll probably go with something similar. Yeah, it's come through now. Something similar to Capaldi's maybe. Something similar to Capaldi's crossed with Paul McGann's TARDIS in the TV movie. If that works in your head, then yeah, that would probably be my TARDIS. But yeah, anyway, I am gonna wrap up the stream here. So yeah, thank you for all tuning in today. It has been a little bit of a long one, or over an hour. But yeah, thank you very much for all tuning in. I'll just answer this one last question. If if each modern Doctor with a classic villain, who would you pair them with? Ninth Doctor, Omega. 10th Doctor, the Mavellians. I know they weren't technically villains, but I'd definitely put them in there. You're right, mate. The 11th Doctor, I don't actually know for that one. I don't have a grand knowledge with classic villains. But yeah, at least them two so far anyway. But yeah, I am going to end the stream now. So thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. And I will see you all next time. I'll probably have another upload ready tomorrow. And I might even live stream. Not guaranteed, but I have enjoyed it today. So maybe it will happen. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. And I will see you all next time. I hope you all have a fantastic, wonderful day. And yeah, thank you all for just being amazing. Alright, goodbye for now, everyone.